So we're back here again with the Manhattan from Orangewood. I don't know if you can see that or not. Doesn't look like it's quite in focus because we got the strings mucking it up. But anyway, that's what it is. It's the Manhattan. We're going to change the tuners. I've got a set of pearloid locking tuners that I'm going to switch out, and I'm going to put a different set of strings on this. I'm not sure exactly which strings I'm going to do, but I'm going to swap these up and see if I can't make it sound just a little bit better. But like I said, this is a $125 guitar that came out of the box, perfectly playable, and now I'm going to muck with it because it's my guitar. All right, now we got the strings off. And what I'm going to do is check the neck for straightness. And what I find is it's got a bit of a back bow. It's kind of humped this way. The middle part is pushing up. So I'm going to get my truss rod wrench and I'm going to flatten it out so that we'll start off with the truss rod flat as a pancake. And we'll change the tuners, like I said. We're going to put the locking tuners on there, and we'll do the truss rod adjustment right now. So I got to get down into the back here, and with a truss rod wrench, and give it a little bit of a whack. Let's see how that goes. The truss rod nut is sitting right up pretty. Is that the right size? That's the right size. So it's right now it's like dead center. I'm going to turn it to the right. Actually, I think I should turn it to the left to loosen it a bit and go the other way. I'm not sure if it's yeah, that's getting worse. So I got to come the other way. You know, I'm in the center. I hope it's a two-way truss rod. We'll find out in just a second. Now I'm loose as a goose in here. And that's a couple of turns that have just been loose. And it's just starting to catch right there. So if I give this a couple of turns, it should flatten the neck out if it's doing what a truss rod should do. So what did that do? I think that flattened us out. It did flatten us out. We're flat as a pancake now. So that was worthwhile. So now we'll start off with the setup on this guitar so that it is flat, which is a good way to start. So the next thing we've got to do is take the tuners off. We'll need a little bit of equipment to do that. We'll get that done in short order, I think, if we're lucky. And then hopefully the other thing will be that these will be the same size, the holes and stuff. So we'll take a look and see how lucky we get. I've never been lucky, by the way, in doing modifications. I've always had nothing but trouble. So let's start off. We'll take just one out right here. And we'll take this tuner out. And we'll see what the holes are going to be like. Because I might have to re-drill this. Do you know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So time will tell. We're going to find out in another couple of seconds exactly where we stand. So if we take this tuner and we put it to the hole, oh my God, it's going to work. It's going to fit, I think, perfectly well. This could be another miracle on 42nd Street. Because like I said, I never get lucky when I'm doing modifications I always end up the creek. So let's take one of these. We'll take a washer. We'll put it on the other side and see if the whole thing fits well. Oh my God, it does. It fits good. I think we're going to get away with this as they say in the trade, as a clean getaway. Let me put one screw in here and see how this goes. So I don't have to re-drill anything. We'll see if the screws will settle down nicely. And I like the perloids. I think that'll lend itself well to this cute little inexpensive guitar and dress it up just a bit and make it look even nicer. So there's the first one on. That looks pretty good. And it's just an even swap, even Steven. Bing, bang, boom. And it fits. My God, a miracle. It is a miracle. So let's take the rest of these off and we'll move forward with courage. Because this is looking like it's going to be a relatively simple modification. Which for me never happens. I can't believe this is going to work so well. But it looks like it's going to work very well. So we'll put these all aside and save them, because these are perfectly good tuners for another project. I just did a guitar yesterday that, the day before yesterday, that needed new tuners. And if I'd have had these three, I might have used them. But you do with what you got at the time. So I'm going to take the rest of these off and I'll be right back, okay? All right, we're back again and we're in the process of doing this modification. As many things that are made in China, there's differences. So these three fit in here perfectly. On the other side, these are going in kind of snug, a little too tight. So what I'm going to do is take a reamer. I got a step reamer, and I'm going to grind out this inner core just a little bit so that those tuners will sit down nice and flush and flat. So we'll give that a little bit of a spin, knock off a little bit of that inside wood. Not a lot, just to take a little whisker off, just a shade. So we're going to shave these down, and hopefully then these new tuners, the locking tuners, which will make stringing up the guitar go much quicker. So we'll move that junk out of the way, and then these pop right in, which is exactly what we want it to happen. So again, what might have been a problem is averted with a very minor adjustment to the guitar holes for the tuners. So that makes them fit in there the way they should. And then we'll take these other two and lay these in. We'll put the grommets in the bottom side, and then we'll put all 6 of these screws in and flip it over. And this will be essentially done. My God, isn't it nice when things work the way you expect them to? I just dropped a screw. I think I see it over there. If I can't find it, I can put one of the other screws back in again. So we'll loosen these backs up a little bit. So those will all fit down real nice. No, that ain't the screw. It fell somewhere down here though. We should be able to find it. But anyway, in the meantime, what we'll do is just throw these other screws in. And I'll put the rest of these screws in, and then I'll flip it over and we'll tighten up the front side with our number 10. That's all that's going to require. Maybe I'll use the other screws that came out of here, because they'll fit in those holes more perfectly, I think. They should lock down nice and tight, because it's the original screw in the original screw hole. Yeah, I think I'm going to take this one out and replace it with the original one that was in there, because they fit better. What the heck? No extra charge. Smarter, not harder. I'm going to like these perloids too. I think they're going to look very nice. Alright, so I'll finish putting the screws in. This isn't all that exciting. And we'll be back. Alright, so we got all 6 of the screws in the back here. And I've loosened up the back end of the locking tuners, so we can get the strings in there easily. And then now what we're going to do is just tighten up these front nuts. Can you see that? You can't see that at all. You're not seeing nothing. So all I'm going to do, I got a number 10 box wrench here, and we'll just tighten these down snug, not death grip, just snug, and that will allow these to sit on here nice. And then the next thing we've got to do is decide what I'm going to do for strings. I may go up a gauge. These come with 12 to 54, I think. The any balls? I think I may put a little bit heavier gauge string on there. Why? Just for the heck of it. Maybe to get a deeper, richer tone. We'll try. All right, we're going to take a bold new adventure here. We're going to go with these Earthwood Ernie Ball 13 to 56. That's a pretty heavier gauge string than what we've been playing on these guys. We've been doing the lighter gauge, but we're going to try the heavier gauge string. Why? Just for the heck of it. What the heck? You only live twice, 3 times, 4 times if you're lucky. I've been lucky. So I'm going to open these guys up, and we're going to go with an industrial strength string. Let's see how this goes. Here's the 56 bronze. We'll see how that looks when we wind it up. And we got the self-locking new tuners now on this guitar. We'll see how that goes. So, string number 1 will go in the hole, we hope. Pop it up and pop it up. And then we'll take a look up this end. And see how this goes in. You can be right here with me trying this first locking tuner. I think I'm going to swing it in from the back. I hope I got it open enough, do I? Evidently not. The string ain't going through. So we're going to loosen it up. There we go. Now we're breaking free. I want to break free. Okay, now that's in there. We'll tighten this down just a smidge, just till we get it secured. And then we're going to tighten it up. See how this goes. I left a little bit of slack so I could get some wind into it. This is the first time I've used these tuners. These are China-made, so we'll see how this goes. I don't know at all how well it's going to work out. I don't know if I need to cut the slot to be a little bit bigger. See what the action looks like there. If we do the old down and dirty quarter trick, we'll see what we got for clearance here. Quite a bit. I may do a truss rod adjustment, although these strings are pretty heavy, so we'll have to see how that works out, you know. And once we get all the string tension on, it may make a big difference. C, D. That's a C. Oops. Just popped a little there. The string is seating itself. Still losing ground here. String is trying to pop itself out of the hole. There's E. See if we can feel under there. Seems to be seated just fine. Well, let's put the rest of the strings on and see where we end up. With just one string, the tension is leaving the truss rod down flat still. So we'll take a look at that and we'll finish stringing up and be back. Okay, now we got the new strings on, and I've got the truss rod wrench in. I tightened up the truss rod. I had a little bit, no back bow, no relief in the neck at all, and I needed to adjust that and get a little bit of relief. So I've done that, and I think that's putting us into a very good position. We do the chintzy quarter test. It brought the neck down. It brought the strings down to a playing level that's much better. Still out of tune, but I don't have any string buzz. Well, maybe a little bit there. So I may have to back off that tension just a bit, but I don't have these tuned up to pitch yet, and that may make all the difference in the world. So we're going to do that now. We'll tune up and see what it does to the neck relief. Go to the G. Anyway, I'll finish tuning and I'll be back. All right, so the new strings are on. The new tuners are on. I love the pearloids. I'd like to have done them in gold, but I had the silver ones, and that's the ones we're going to go with. The Orangewood headstock is cute. Cute. And the heavier strings, we went with the Earthwood 13 to 56 strings. It's nice bold, brassier sound. Very good. The quality of this guitar is amazing for what it is. I really am thoroughly impressed with what they've done here. And what we'll do now is we'll give it a little bit of a play. I just tuned it up, and we'll hit it with the tuner again. See if people put this on upside down. Maybe that's a better way to read this. It's a gorgeous guitar. It's very nice. Let's see if we put this out here where it's going to be. I think that's going to be okay. Let's see if we sit down here and see if we can get the guitar in the picture. So that it looks nice, it plays nice, and the heavier strings have a nice deeper tone. Oh, and I did adjust the truss rod again. The action is nice. We're at 4/64 at the 12. For string height, I checked the intonation. It's good. Really. I had a little bit of buzz earlier on when I had the string tension lower on the other strings, but as soon as I put the full set of strings on, it gave it just the right amount of relief that all that buzzing went away. So now the last three strings play nice and clean. No buzz, no fuzz, no mess, no nonsense. What a great little guitar for 125 bucks plus a new set of strings. These are Chinese-made locking tuners with the purloins that I had. I'd already bought them. I probably paid $16 for them, but that came out pretty good. I like the purloin. I like the heavier gauge strings. We just did it all a little different and put good money into our 125 buck guitar, and it came out nice. I think it came out nice. Thanks, Orangewood.